It's not an AMA, short recap about the games. This is a play-by-play. No Instagram, these holograms. Boy, these ain't the same. This out Harmon, you know we do things a different way. We got in the room, come join the team, but don't be in the way. Stay tuned, join that Patreon, we do giveaways. McNutted and ATM, you know they on a different wave. Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, pick a day. This out Harmon, you know that we glad you here today. This not an AMA. This not an AMA. This not an AMA. Short recap about the games. This is the play-by-play.
Yes, sir.
Week 14 recap, buddy.
Yes, sir, buddy. How you feeling, man? How was your week 14? How did it treat you? And do you have any overarching takeaways before we get right into the what I didn't expect, the barn burner in the snow? You know, the Titans and the Browns.
So far, so good. So far, so good. Teams that needed to win, you know, either to lock up a bye or sneak into the playoffs.
Lock up a sneak in.
All right.
McNuggets sneaking in, or McNuggets far from sneaking in. He's locking up
right
buys.
to the back.
The Browns, I'll tell you, I didn't expect the barn burner in the snow. And when you look at how the game finishes here, Mike, the crazy part to me is that, listen, the Titans play the Aints at home. The Browns might have just snuck back into the overall conversation for this top pick here, buddy, you know?
Yeah, so it was a weird one there for the Titans, man. Like, you like to see the young Bucks get a win. I mean, it's been a team that's been pretty shitty all year. It's been tough for them, but they're fucking themselves right at the end for this top draft pick. Do you know after today's win, they went from first overall to now third?
Well, buddy, I mean, there's a clusterfuck now at the top of this thing, and let me ask you, the Browns lose, okay, at home to the Titans, but perfect timing. Shedeur had some moments. He had some non-moments, but he had a ton of moments. Definitely a blow-up game. You know, again, one I didn't see coming, and he has a rushing touchdown as well. Mike, what's your takeaway from today? We have another blow-up going to be as well with Fannin. Went crazy. So overall, let's talk Browns and we'll talk Titans here, as crazy as that is to start this show off.
Well, it's good. I mean, if we're just looking at fantasy points, you love to see what you got. I mean, you got 33 plus out of him in most leagues, which is awesome to see for the Shedeur truthers out there.
Four total touchdowns. He almost goes for 400 yards, right? 364 and 29 on the ground.
Here's the big takeaway that I have, though, long term for Shedeur. If he'd done this in mostly garbage time or all garbage time or whatever it was, like if it was just empty calorie stats, I'd be a little bit more concerned about his outlook. But
sure,
actually, at the end of the day, I thought he played really well throughout the majority of the game. It wasn't spectacular. He had some bad moments that he needed to clean up. But
the one pick was huge because honestly, you could argue it cost him the game too.
I would say this. It was the first real above average, like, okay, this is a positive sign from Shedeur game that we've seen in his young career. So the fantasy points just happen to be icing on the cake, and that's what we want from our end. But I would say long term, I think it would give Browns fans some hope. I know Tennessee's, their record is terrible. When we dive in a little bit more into this game, you see like it's a decent enough defense. It's not the Raiders. It's not the Cardinals defense, right? Like it's a decent enough defense. They really shut down the run and made Shedeur Sanders try to beat them, and he kept them in the game throughout.
Sure did. Well, and to that point, Mike, I mean, he gets one. You have to have at least, when you go 364, 3 touchdowns, someone should be eating. Today was Harold Fannin. It's kind of crazy because Joku gets the touchdown. So he only has one catch for 1 yard. He got hurt on the play. But Fannin had a day. Jerry Jeudy did have a touchdown. Not a blow-up game, but, had a long touchdown basically. Harold Fannin, let me ask you this. 11 targets in this game. Especially if I don't know what the injury for Njoku was, but are you buying into Fannin as becoming one of the ones here at the tight end position?
He could be one of the ones. Like, you like what you saw out of him. People are going to ask the generic question, should you pay first for him? The answer is almost unequivocally no. But if you have him, listen, kind of how this shakes out looking into next year, what ends up with David Njoku, if he were to move on officially, gone. If he's off this team, Harold Fannin, then maybe we can ask the question, is he worth a one? Is he worth one? As it is right now, no, but he's got some skills, man. He does have some skills. He seemed to be a big part of this offense as soon as Njoku was gone early after he caught the touchdown pass.
Right.
And late there, man, that was a mismatch. I mean, it was one of their better cover safeties, and
it was just a hell of a grab. It was one of those better offense beats, good defense, right? So, here's what I guess I'd say, Mike. At this point, even if the deadline's off for you and you can trade, I think on a contender, I probably just ride it out for the year, unless I can get a true haul of players in my lineup, let's say, right? And then I do know going into the offseason, Mike, it's probably going to get to the point where this type of asset that's playing really well in the back half as a rookie at the tight end position, I mean, you're talking the sky's literally the limit for what he could be in the offseason. So I think that's what I'm really looking at.
Yeah, it's going to be a hype train in the offseason. So it's not the worst thing to write it out. Also, too, I'm not opposed right now because the tight end position is pretty gross top to bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, Harold Fannin's going to lead the week at tight end, but Mike Gesicki's right on his heels. Dawson Knox.
Well, I got you.
Josh Oliver's not even the starting tight end, had 2 touchdowns.
I don't want to spoil too much, but I got you your Gesicki blow up just for you.
Let's go.
Doing the gritty, but plenty of A-Warp tight ends out there. True. So,
but I'm just saying, if I had Harold Fannin, I get what you're saying. You can ride him in the offseason because there will be a hype bump in the offseason, especially if something were to happen with Njoku. But even if he's on the team, people are still going to talk him up with no football being played about. He's going to break out. He's going to supplant him. Whatever they're going to say.
What's wild is they're going to the breakout narrative when he's already pretty much broken out. But I love
his
it. You're
values.
100% right.
His value is going to be more in a couple months. It's going to be more. It just is. That's how the cycle works. But I'd say this: if I was on a contender and I got a realistic tear down into another A-Warp tight end, Hunter Henry, a Juwan Johnson, Mike Gesicki, one of these kind of guys, and I got some other pieces, if we don't have a trade deadline, that hey, maybe I can go buy a running back or something like that. I'm definitely doing that shit.
Right, I'm with you. If I can get legitimate players in my lineup that make more sense from a contending standpoint, that's what I would take. But I feel like, at this point, it might not be that realistic to get that. Right. If you can, I'm with you. Quinchon today was very disappointing. And, to your point, you said the Titans, I think it's a little underknown. Their front has some outrageous athletes and make it difficult to run on. The opposite side we're going to get to here is where the Browns have really not been easy team to run on. Tony Pollard made that slight work. What was your take from Quinchon here today? I mean, like you said, they made Shedeur beat him, and he did really technically beat him through the end. They just didn't win the game.
Well, first off, Quinchon had that. Man, I thought he was going to stay in bounds there and house like a 60-yarder in the passing game, and I was like, holy shit, this is how we're going to start this off? Nice.
He did stay in bounds. He just got caught up right there at the end, yeah.
It was a little bit rough because there wasn't much to be had when you got big old Jeff Simmons up front, right? That's a tough defense to run against, and they stacked the box. They were like, we know Quinchon's your entirety of this offense. Let's see what the young kid's got in Shedeur. Let's make him beat us. So they game planned him out. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I knew it would be a little bit rough, but holy hell, they took him away, and he did almost nothing outside of that long reception.
Well, you told me, I'm helping someone set a lineup, and it was easy, Quinchon over Tony P, and oh boy, goodness gracious. I'm so sorry. I lost you your playoff spot there pretty easily. Tony P, I think, had more points today than he did in the last 3 or 4 games. I mean, the kid went pretty old school Dallas to the crib, 65-35, just house calls left and right. Mike, so much so I hadn't even made a hologram for him this whole season. That's how bad it's been. I mean, it's been rough.
I don't think anybody saw this one coming, man. Especially he's been inefficient versus lesser competition. He's been kind of just, listen, I'm going to get you 6 to 10, and that's what guys are going to love. Okay, this is all I'm good for. And I'm like, damn, he's playing the Browns. He's playing the Browns defense.
Yeah, they're a top 10 team against the run. You're like, nah, this is bad. This is all bad. The only good thing was the weather was, maybe going to keep him running the football, but to what degree? Not to this, anyone thought.
All my Tony Pollard best ball shares are just, we're printing money this week, boys. Every lineup Tony Pollard share that I have.
I wouldn't get too comfy, but yeah, it's here we are, man. I got to ask you, this is, to be forgotten after this week, right? If you have Tony P, don't be expecting this on a long-term basis. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not doubling down. All right.
Well, and the opposite was here. Like, Cam Ward really didn't do a whole lot today, only 117, but, you're like, all right, they can't beat you on the ground, and they did that. It definitely, cost the entire passing game. You got DK here. He gets a touchdown, but it was pretty rough sledding for the entire passing offense. Outside of best ball, do you think better days are ahead in different matchups? They have a tough schedule down the stretch outside of the Saints game, honestly.
No. If you're relying on any Titans heading into your fantasy playoffs, my apologies.
Start 9, start 10, start 12, start 40. It's just not.
My apologies.
Not hoping to do it.
Adam, this had to be, though, a big takeaway from the game, had to be the best thing a Cleveland Browns fan could have asked for is Shedeur play well, keep him in the game, look good, still take the loss. And you take the loss to a team that is right ahead of you right now in draft order and really tighten up them picks.
Well, it's weird because Shedeur played well. I think he overall was still, completion was like right around 50, a little bit higher. I think he showed you a lot of great throws. The touch pass a couple times in the end zone, money throws, right? But it's like, dude, what's going to happen with this team? You just lost at home to the Titans. I don't know if Haslam's getting, a little ants in his pants, but you got to figure it could be happening. New regime, new coach, potentially. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but you're looking at, a guy that doesn't have a lot of draft capital as it is. They get into, let's say, the mix for, potentially the top quarterback. What happens?
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, and especially with Mendoza going out and beating Ohio State, just to rub it in for the state of Ohio.
The Indiana defense going out and beating Ohio State, but yeah, for sure.
That's fair. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. I do think, though, I saw Sky Connor post about it, and we got to launch an investigation. It's got to be downright criminal that they started Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders at any point this year.
Mike, because here's
everyone.
Once they drafted Shedeur, Mike, especially with what comes with Shedeur. And what I mean by that is not anything negative. It's just the fact that he has a large following, and you're going to have a bad football team. So if you put Gabriel in, you're going to have him on a short leash likely because you've drafted this other kid in Shedeur. My worry is that we end up lighting both those picks on fire, and we don't really get to see enough of either one of these guys. Now, Gabriel I've seen enough of. Let me say that. Okay,
we're good.
I've seen Gabriel enough. But what if we don't even get to see enough of Shedeur because this team decides to go in another direction because it's so shitty? He played well today. I just want to say that. I think he played well. Given a rookie and given the situation here, I thought he played well. So I'm excited, hopefully, for the future, but I just know how shit can go here, man.
We're going to Mike Zimmer Dylan Gabriel. That's what we're going to do.
God.
Why do we need to see him? I see him
in practice every day. Well, yeah, they called him a supercomputer at one point, Mike. I don't know if that's, AI or what that is, but
well, it's one of them 1940 supercomputers, with the big rolls and gears and stuff. You can hear them clicking.
You mean it was one of the, I wouldn't call it supercomputers, just one of the first computers, like that. All right, let's go ahead and get into, another lack of, crazy game here. Seahawks, it ends up being a doozy. And, there's one thing that we know is consistent here, and that's JSN. What's crazy is I say that, and he's coming off of the one game where he was not consistent last week. So I guess he's back in a way, but
yep.
This is just par for the course. It's a game where it felt like, for the most part, if you're watching it, he was kind of having a slower day or just a pedestrian day, and turns into, quick 30. It's crazy. It's crazy what he's doing, man. Like, Sam Darnold didn't even really have that great of a day, frankly. 20 for 30, 249, but 2 of the touchdowns go to JSN, makes Darnold have 3. It's otherworldly what he's doing right now, buddy. Really is.
Do you remember 8-9 weeks ago where we're having these conversations on recap? JSN?
Go clip me. Go clip me. I'm a JSN guy, but I'm sure every single time I'm too low and I sound crazy. All right, so go clip me every time. Seth, I know you typically clip the AMAs, but we got plenty of the recaps, I'm sure, to clip. Is he Dynasty wide receiver 1 yet? I think we've had for several weeks now he's been in the tier. I don't know, Mike, are you willing to put him in a standalone 1? I think for me he's still in a tier, but he could definitely be your 1. I got no problem with it.
He can't be standalone, right? Because Puka Nacua exists.
And, true, very much so. That dude's a fucking beast, dude. We got some really good players, but JSN, what he's doing right now, can't be understated, honestly.
Right, and you're still going to have Jamar Chase up there because we know Jamar Chase can go for 40 or 50 with Joe Burrow back any given time.
I did want to say, though, to this point, this is Mike. I know you were talking about this for a while. This is what I wanted to say. Justin Jefferson having such a disappointing season. He's been the one guy I can remember, as well as Chase, that was kind of roughly in the mix overall for the one asset on KTC. JSN is the number one overall asset on KTC.
He nailed it.
Superflex. So, is he the wide receiver 1? Yes. Is he the overall player 1? I think we're seeing some changing of the guard for the quarterback position. Lamar had a good day, but, man, JSN right now, Mike, Chase,
he's got
Puka
the
Nacua are all
second
in.
highest score I've ever seen on Keep Trade Cut right now.
9987. Yeah, it's close. It's like if you don't give him a 99 on the video game, right?
Nope. Last year when J-Day was doing his thing, QB3 in his rookie year, he was 9999.
There you go. Yep, sure was. All right, so really outside of this though, that was the true story of the game. JSN is great.
Yeah,
Shaheed showed a little bit of something because Mike, he was he looked like exactly what you said, a punt returner prior to this game. On the other side, I will say at least, Mike, you got to see Kyle Pitts have, a solid day. Mike, I'll tell you this. He was on pace. I thought he was going to actually get to the 100-yard mark, which he did not, for the first time since his rookie season. However, he didn't. So, Mike, he still has not gotten to 100 yards in a game outside of his rookie year. That's 2021.
It feels like 8 years ago. Yeah, feels like forever ago,
It's a long time ago, man.
Just more par for the course. A Kirk Cousins-led Atlanta Falcons offense is not good for anyone.
You mean it's not very good at all?
Yeah, it's just not good. It's not good. And there was people pounding the table with all the quarterback injuries and benchings and all the stuff we had early in the year before the trade deadline. Like, trade Kirk Cousins here. Why? So they can look like ass too? He just doesn't have it anymore, man. Something about them fucking Achilles just takes it from you.
Sure does.
Just takes it from you, man. He does not look good.
Sure doesn't. Well, Mike, the another barn burner of the game, as the thumbnail showed, Tee Higgins. When Chase is out there and Burrow's out there, all healthy. I'm not saying T can't go off, but it's not as typical that he dwarfs. He just puts Chase in a different spot, which was kind of what happened today. T goes 6 for 92 and 2 touchdowns. The one hand in the weather is just stupid.
Insane. What a catch. What a catch by him. Listen, man, you're not going to find a much bigger Tee Higgins stand around in the fantasy space than me. And I don't
want to do too much, but Mike's first piece of content with getting on the Destination Debbie stream, he basically said, listen, this is where he set the tier down. I'm going to go from Jamar Chase to Tee Higgins. You give me a first any day of the week. So stand up, Still
here, man. Still here. It was a little bit concerning early because he looked like he smacked his head off the turf, and I was like, shit.
That's the one thing about him that's always been the case. You can say whatever you want about him, right? But it's been injury. If there's a problem, it's injury, whether it's mid-game, missing games. So you never like to see that. But he played really well today.
When fully healthy and out there, we're on a very short list of wide receivers that are better than Tee Higgins.
Yeah. He is, I think, he's safely in that tier of not the true elite dynasty valued assets, but can score right there with them. Top 15-ish, top 12-ish, whatever you want to call it for dynasty value.
Feels like him and Devontae Smith are forever going to fight for 12.
Yeah, and I think this year, based on the offenses, we're looking at it's T in the driver's seat, and Smitty's kind of the afterthought, which could definitely switch. But I'm with you. Burrow, Mike, 4 touchdowns today. Dude, this Bengals team. There's a moment where you're thinking, okay, they win this game in Buffalo. Joe Burrow's back. They're in the chance for this division is shitty, and we end up leaving just like, wow. Okay, we got all rocked up for what, There
was back-to-back interceptions by Joe Burrow. One of them, listen, I'm not going to put that one on him. Hell of a play by Benford to go up and just snag that right there in the backfield and then pick 6 that thing. That was a hell of a play. But then I'm like, okay, all right, Buffalo's back in the lead. Joey's going to come right back. And then, bam, throws another pick. And I was like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Buffalo's rocking. This isn't good. Looks like these Bengals are cooked. And, Josh Allen went full fucking man mold. So Joe Burrow went out and did his thing. I thought he played really well outside of one pick. That was his fault. The other one's kind of a fluky thing. There's only so much he can fucking do, man. They really took away Jamar Chase from him, so he fed Tee Higgins, and he fed him well. He got other guys involved. It's just the fact Joe Burrow doesn't play defense, and Joe Burrow is not responsible for stopping Josh Allen.
Unfortunately, Mike, I mean, there never really was much. It was a little bit of an A-Warp tight end life, the Noah Fan experience. It's dead. It's the Gesicki's out here grittying. I mean, he didn't actually gritty this time, but the ugliest gritty I've ever seen in the history. Did he actually? I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, it just wasn't the terrible one. It actually looked like a real gritty right after.
So he's been while injured, he's been working on this. The gritty that I have pictured here, Mike, this was the worst gritty I've ever seen in my entire life. It was awful.
I think he got a little bit better. I mean, they only showed from like.
To be fair, the bar was extremely low. I mean, it was the worst gritty I've ever seen. He had to have gotten better. He goes 6 for 86 and a touchdown. He's been getting a decent amount of targets, like as the 3 in this offense. So definitely A-Warp tight end life for him. It's been it though. That's the show here. Chase Brown. This is the stat line. This is the craziest, weirdest one I've ever seen. Dude goes for less than 40 yards total, but got in the end zone twice, so had a really nice day. But again, it's
he almost had a second receiving touchdown too. He just couldn't haul it in. Just couldn't.
Well, there was
complete it. But yep, he's not an efficient player. He's just not.
What would you pay for Gesicki in Dynasty right now?
Yeah. I mean, if I really needed it on a contending team going into the playoffs right now, maybe my late second. Yeah, I'd pay a third pretty easily.
Would you pay 2/3 and then a late second? I'm kind of with you. I think it's one of those where, like, if I got to scrape the bottom of the barrel, I'm trying to go the A-Warp tight end life. This is the guy. Yep. And listen, the reason they lose, Josh Allen did Josh Allen things.
Yeah.
Only 6 incompletions, no picks. One of the nice things when you watch Josh Allen, right, you obviously have the rushing upside that we got to see finally today, 78 yards on the ground. But when you get to see this type of Josh Allen with no turnovers, Mike, you're like, holy hell. If he could just keep his head on and play like this, he's a man amongst boys. It's just, sometimes you get those boneheaded plays or those trying to be a hero play,
Yeah, and he's really up against it too with New England already beating them, leading the division. I mean, they're playing catch up right now as far as, trying to get that first seed and get that bye.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, he was like, there's a reason last year I was MVP. And, we don't really have a real good front runner for MVP. We talked about Matt Stafford a little bit, but everybody else has kind of been, we even threw in Jonathan Taylor's name. That's kind of where we were at for MVP race.
Well, yeah, we're going to get to that. That's
Josh Allen does this once or twice more before the end of the season. Holy shit. Back-to-back MVPs, just give it to the man, because that was almost a damn near perfect game. I mean,
it was great. But let's not forget about what just took place. I mean, it's not much of a team in Arizona, but the absolute shit stomping that Matt Stafford and the Rams gave to them.
Very fair.
So what was I? I'll be honest. I lost my train of thought. I'm thinking MVP. This game was honestly a great game to watch too. It's just one of those where this year the Bengals on offense can have these great games and just find a way to continue to lose. Probably at this point now, especially being out of the playoff mix, pretty likely. Better for their future, Just go ahead and lock up a top 15 pick, top 10 pick if you can, and just, load up for next year.
I don't think they'll end up doing it in the offseason, but please get Josh Allen a number 1 wide receiver. Please. I like this spread it around thing and, what he's doing, but still, get him a guy. Get him a guy.
You're not a Khalil Shakir guy,
No, I'm not a Dawson Knox 6 for 93 kind of guy either.
Okay,
Please,
fair enough.
Get him a 1.
All right. Man, I guess we we go to this game that brought misery. I'm rocking the Fred Taylor throwback. One of the things I'm going to try to start doing, Mike, is mixing some throwbacks, some retired players that I can't mess up the future and the current for them.
That's right. You can't curse them.
Yeah, they're already, it's in stone. We'll start with the Jaguars. We obviously have the big news to get to, but Jacoby Myers had a touchdown, and Jacoby Myers is, at least what I'm seeing, he looks like Trevor Lawrence's favorite target, man.
Yeah, I mean, 10 fucking targets. It's like he never lost Christian Kirk from a couple years ago.
Well, this is like the current better Christian Kirk. What he's always wanted in Christian Kirk to be if he could be consistent. Because Kirk had his moments in this offense for sure.
Very, very well. Yeah, but it comes at the cost of just about everybody else in this.
It comes at the peril of everybody. Now, I mean, BTJ did have, I think, one of the long catches today, but
Sure did.
dude, it's for BTJ. And Mike, can I tell you something? I wish I was a little stronger on the BTJ stuff. I like the kid, right? But all off season, there was so much push on like, oh man, BTJ should be in the overall like wide receiver 1 conversation. I just really couldn't get behind it because of the splits. Some of it I couldn't necessarily even put a real pinpoint in as to why, like to make it make sense. But I'm like, I just haven't seen, given that it was with Mac Jones and not with T-Law, I had my reservations. Then they draft Travis Hunter. And now that doesn't even matter. It's not even Travis Hunter. It's not even Travis Hunter is the reason. It's
Tim
the
Patrick.
fall for him is tough, man. Yeah, Tim Patrick and Jacoby Myers, you know.
Tim Patrick. Bayshell Tootin, biggest cock tease I think we've ever seen.
So what happened with his injury, by the way? Did he? What did we know? He fumbles too.
Yeah, he learned to not play football. Right. A couple weeks ago we were talking about it. Here we go. And no.
It is not Tootin time, as the thumbnail said on that one, by the way.
No, it is not.
Yeah, BTJ is super frustrating asset. ETN, basically
inefficient but scores.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have him as a blow up. He definitely deserves one, but it was just like inefficient. But he got the 2 touchdowns, and when Tootin went out, see that's the thing about it, right? Tootin, I think for what we thought, didn't even get the work that we were thinking, but was gonna make it a really probably puzzling, tough backfield to like say who you want. But if you're going to give it all to ETN, I mean, dude, nobody's going to have any questions. Like ETN's auto lock in lineups, and you probably want to buy him right now, honestly. In Dynasty.
Yep. I would put him on a roster. He'd be a nice RB2/flex option for your contending teams in these playoffs.
No question. What would you pay? Would you pay first?
I don't know if I'd get that crazy.
Let's say you're a team like you have a bye. Would you send your first in 26?
What I would probably do, and this is actually how I do it. We got no trade deadline. I got to buy. Listen, I'm waiting until next week, and I'm going to see what other teams in the playoffs lose and what their running back stable looks like that I could possibly, because I think
that's a smart play.
There's plenty of better options that I could get for that first that I'd feel much safer with.
Sure, that's fair. I guess it's probably market dependent too. There's some leagues where like the parity isn't necessarily it's decently paired, so. You may not be able to have a bunch of options yet. To your point, one of the nice things to do if you have the deadline off is to wait until next week if you have a bye. If you don't,
just spitballing, for example, if the CMC owner's got to play in the first round and takes an L next week.
Of course, you'd rather go that route.
What if I got to add a second? I'd much rather pay a first and that second to go get CMC than I would to pay 1 first for Travis Etienne. So that's why I'm kind of waiting.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, actually. This, I mean, dude.
See ya.
I'll be honest with you, Mike. I have a redraft league. Okay, I only have 2, right? But I'm in a redraft league where I have dimes. My team is going to be almost scoring 2,000 points, which for the year is like unheard of. Mike, he goes minus 0.2 because of what took place today. I'm going to lose another game. I'm not going to get a bye with just an absolute goon squad because of this. Absolutely crazy. And if you have him, right, I happen to have Bryce and Caleb, so I'm okay at the quarterback position, but I'm not as good as I once was, I think. If you have him, you're probably panicking right now, dude. Like, because he's been solid. He was great in the early part of the year. He's been solid at least the second half or the back half of the season. Torn Achilles. I mean, for your teams right now, here and now, it's definitely tough sledding. You got to see what you can do if you have the deadline off still. But, Mike, let's just say this, too. What's crazy is his future, for what we thought, is just shaken to a fucking I feel honestly horrible for him. And I'm not even a Danny Dimes guy, Yeah,
I'm not a Danny Dimes guy, and I definitely stand for Anthony Richardson. So it's hard to not, get too excited about this and sound like a real asshole.
Well, but I mean,
it is a horrible injury for him. It's horrible for the kid,
thing is,
too.
To get to A-Rich, we'll see if he plays. There was talk at least 2 or 3 weeks ago, Mike. He hasn't been cleared because it was so bad. His vision's screwed up because he had a fracture from that. Imagine the force from that fucking band. I don't know if you guys ever use stretch bands. You can imagine what took place. And this had to be just the most insane thing you've ever seen for A-Rich. But I don't even know if he's going to play. Riley Leonard right now is the current quarterback until we hear otherwise, or if we do. Let me ask you right now. Here's I think the what do you want to call it? The domino, so to speak, right? I'm really worried for Taylor now, unless A. Rich comes in place, because you already were starting to see people stack the box, dude. You're just going to absolutely make Riley Leonard beat you. I mean, 100%.
Well, this offense in the last 3-4 weeks has really regressed anyways. They stopped doing a lot of stuff early in the season that was making everyone kind of eat and, have fantastic games. And listen, when Jonathan Taylor breaks one, we're still moving it on offense, and we've been okay.
And I think to be fair to them, I think the defenses have kind of taken away. They've made them go to a different option than what they were really liking to do in the early part of the year.
If only somebody would have said something early in the season about Tyler Warren and how I didn't know if that would be sustainable once defenses adjusted. It'd be crazy. But long term, looking out for the rest of the season, I would be shitting my pants about everything Jonathan Taylor's done for my fantasy team up to this point. And now, maybe we get A-Rich. Maybe. Adam, I don't know. I don't know, like you said. I'm kind of banking on, like, he's going to be magically healed next week. Right? Like, oh, shit, we need you. Okay, you got to be magically healed. Get back in there.
Here's what I'll say.
If it's Riley Leonard, good Lord.
I share the same sentiment in that I think if A-Rich can go, and all of a sudden we see he can go next week, what was kind of what we're dealing with. I mean, you heard that basically they said he is our quarterback too when healthy. If he goes next week. If he doesn't go next week, though, Mike, I think we could be looking at a situation where the dude really can't quite see yet, and we got a whole nother can of worms before if he's playing in this game. Which, I mean, the other thing, too, is you had the Sauce Gardner injury. Dude, their season started unbelievable. They were setting legitimate historic records, Mike. Just getting derailed by the fucking game. It's horrible.
In the shitter.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Going in the shitter. Yeah, this is bad for everyone on this office. Pittman, whatever you were enjoying from Alec Pierce. Josh Downs has kind of been dead for
You know what's crazy? Alec Pierce still led him in passing yards today.
Still did.
Bless his heart. So, I mean, who knows?
Still did.
That one was not a fun game to deal with, honestly, in any capacity.
And they do not. I mean, you want to talk about the Colts outlook, right? And
not
being
really,
worried
but
for Jonathan.
Yeah, it's bad.
Well, being worried. All right, here's what the playoff schedule is, Adam. Seahawks defense, Niners defense, Jaguars defense. Like,
You mean what? You mean what they just saw today? Oh no.
Yeah.
Hey, well, let's get to some more exciting stuff. All right. How about Puka Nacua just being Himothy? How about Himothy Nacua? Buddy, I know it's the hapless Cardinals. I know this. Jacoby Brissett's so amazing. All this stuff. All right. Let's grow up a minute. Let's just move on from that, okay? Dude. Come on. Look at this guy. He's coming up. He's coming all close here, I mean, this dude is different. He's really different, man.
You want to talk about potential being clear dynasty wide receiver one in a tier by yourself? It would be Puka Nacua if I didn't have all the play style concerns and the fact that this guy does get banged up quite often with just how physical he is, not only in run blocking, but they'll use him on end arounds, they use him on bubble screens, that kind of stuff. And just his play style over the middle is crazy work with what he can do. I mean, it's like Anquan Bolden from back in the day with how physical he is at the wide receiver position.
That's the thing. He's a complete receiver, but his physicality changes, I think, in today's NFL, his upside, because none of these no player is complete as him, but also has that physicality that you can bring. He is an absolute nightmare cover, no matter where you put him, frankly.
He is clearly, when you watch him out there, he's not the greatest athlete we've seen at the wide receiver position, right? Like he's
not Randy Moss. Yeah, I'm with you.
He's not one of those guys. But I think to your point, talking about in today's NFL, right? We see a lot of freak type athletes up and down, and they come in all shapes and sizes. But most of them, even guys who are like Brian Thomas, who are 6'4", 215, 220, those kind of guys, like they're built on speed and agility, and we're just going to out-jump you. Puka Nacua in today's is like a throwback playing in today's game, and I don't think DBs are ready for what he brings to it.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to bring their lunch when they.
Well, the thing is, he's not a sub athlete, right? So he can get by you. You see it happen all the time, but because of his physicalities, the nature of which he plays, he's just a nightmare. Because you look at most receivers, Mike. Not that they can't be physical, but they're not going to come and be that type of physicality. I mean, when he scores a touchdown, I don't know if you guys could hear this if you're watching it live. He's screaming like a lineman. You know, he's like an animal. He's making his presence be known. He is different, man. Let me just say that. I don't know that I'm going to put him in his own tier or that he's very different the way that he plays, and it is clearly a problem for defenses. And I think this is the big thing to keep in mind. While Stafford's here and healthy, you pair that athlete and this physicality with Stafford and knowing just where to get the ball to you. Ugh, dude, when healthy, he's just a fucking menace. Absolute menace.
Absolute stud, man. We missed out on Devontae Adams touchdown. Like, you thought it was going to come, and he still got his red zone targets. He almost had a 30-yard touchdown from outside.
right off the fingertips, you know.
Not his fault. Not his fault, man. You saw
it was a
some
tough
illegal
catch.
contact.
Sure.
Well, there was some illegal contact too. He drew the flag on him. Will Johnson basically grabbed the fucking guy and was like, "Oh shit, Adams is going deep." I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
surprised him, but yeah. Kind of sucked, man. Devontae Adams has been carrying a lot of teams, and I was like, we could almost rely on him for a tutty a game.
Well, listen, we'll get to Stafford here, but I think this is what's really interesting. Kyren has a very good day. It's a very good day. But, Mike, were we just like basically 2 years early on this Blake Corum thing, or what the fuck's going on here? I mean, holy shit.
2 years. This is going to be the first ever running back that's been trying to unseat.
I had this one starred because I knew we'd get to it. I don't know if I'm quite here, but, dude, he has become a little bit of a menace these last couple weeks. And if you haven't been paying attention, it really sneaks up on you now because he's getting close to a 50-50 timeshare, man.
This week was damn near 50-50. We'll see what the actual snap shares come out, but as far as touches,
the touches were basically 50, even 13 and 12 as far as carries go. Yeah.
I know he started doing more stuff last week, but I kind of wrote that off as a one-off. You know,
exactly.
That's how the game went. Because last week he was only right around 30%.
It was like tooting, but you didn't have the excitement. You know, you're like, all right, this will go away, right?
Yeah, I've seen this story before. You know, this guy's going to have a game every now and then. This week, though.
And the other thing last week, if you look at his snap percentage, Mike, that was the other thing about last week for me. And I'm curious to see what it breaks out to. His snap percentage was in line last week with every other week. There was no difference, right? So he just did something with his carries.
He did something that I don't think we've seen Kyren do in fucking forever. Break off a long run.
Well, it probably feels that way, but yeah, I'm with you. He looked explosive today. 10.7 a carry, 2 touchdowns. What I'll say is this: I'm not overly panicked. It could just be, you know, Corum's got a little more run because he's playing well. But you definitely don't like to see it if you're going to the playoffs with Kyren. It caps his upside at minimum.
I'll say this, Keenan. It's a valid question. You're not crazy to ask it. I will say this. I don't have balls big enough next week if I'm playing in the playoffs and I had Kyren Williams to start Blake Corum over Kyren Williams.
Well, I don't even know if we're saying he is. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't have those stones.
Well, is it time to start considering it? I don't even know if we're there, but it's considering might be a fair question. Now, actually, you know, sitting here talking about something and actually doing it, to your point, you're going to need some really big watermelon stones. Had it in her mouth, and the kids walked in.
That's one of the greatest lines ever. Had it in her mouth, and the kids walked in.
Oh, gentlemen. So, Mike, let me ask you right now, Blake Corum. Forget Kyren for a second. I don't have a hologram for him. I clearly need one. Do you fire him up next week? You're in the playoffs. You gotta have a flex option. Is he fire up worthy, or is this you could be looking at a whole total shitburger of like 6 touches next week? You
could be looking at a shitburger, but I think after these last 2 games,
worth it. Yeah,
I think the upside's worth it. I think I'd fire him up in a flex.
Well, and you were talking about MVP. To me, Mike, we're getting really late in the game for this to get past. I mean, this is looking like 20. What was it, 21? Right?
Yeah.
This is looking like 21. I mean, this is insane what they're doing.
He's doing well. Now, the only downside is last week he kind of came off a pretty subpar gross week. So he rebounded nicely against the Cardinals. It's going to be a hell of an MVP race because, somebody put in the chat, I don't know how the hell I forgot about this man, but Drake May, right? So Drake May, Josh Allen, Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
And the list for MVP discussion at this point. It's down to these 3 guys. Who wants it?
Sure.
Who wants it? We got 4 weeks left, boys.
I just wanted to quickly, try to get a little Yeah, I mean, dude, we were already, Mike, going into this week, minus 160 Stafford, plus 200 May, who, we know what's going on there. We haven't seen it yet. And Josh Allen was plus 1,400. So Josh Allen probably at that odds would have been a great little, shot in the dark.
He's plus 1,400 before this week?
Yeah. He's probably going to make that line a lot closer. But I do think, Mike, this is Matthew Stafford's to lose. Those guys can definitely take it from him. They're in the mix. I don't think anybody else at this point is even close, though. I think it's definitely a three-person race. And I think Stafford, if he just, continues doing even 80, 90% of what he's doing, he's going to end up winning it this year.
He's got a pretty decent schedule to finish out, right? So he gets the Lions next week, then the Seahawks, then the Falcons, and then he gets the bitch-ass Cardinals again, which he may not have to play in Week 18 because they might already have locked up the bye.
Yep. Well, here. Speaking of holograms and blow-ups and shit you didn't see coming, I mean, well, I never saw this coming. Speaking of Tyler Shuck is just running all over the place, dude.
Before you jump off of it, right, Cardinals, we got to acknowledge Michael fucking Wilson. Again, another monster fucking week from Michael.
Sorry.
Michael
you know what?
Wilson.
I was so ready to what the Shuck here. You know what, Mike?
You got excited.
I came prepared, okay? I came prepared.
All right.
I got Wilson's hologram, and it should have been a blow-up, but we were, 4 o'clock games doesn't give you quite as much time.
With Jacoby Brissett starting and there's no Marvin Harrison, you fire up Michael Wilson. You don't even think twice about it.
I think you fire him up with Marv, you just have a lot less excitement. Yeah. But when he's not playing, it's not even a question. He's one of the best wide receivers, volume-wise, and probably what their game script-wise is going to be, easily. I mean, if Marv misses another week, it's not even close.
What's going to be real interesting is what they do with this quarterback situation in the offseason. But Michael Wilson's, people are going to be trading first for Michael Wilson here pretty fucking soon with what he's doing.
Fred Taylor. Yes, it is. Yeah. Let me ask you. Right now, he's probably one of these conundrums. What would you pay?
I'm staying away because what people are going to want is more than I'm comfortable with. Like I said, I have tiny little balls.
Market do you think?
I'd pay a mid-second for him.
Well,
I'd pay a mid-second for him.
A mid-second is not. Come on. A mid-second's a very.
But that's coming from me, Adam. You know how I feel about mid-seconds. They're fucking garbage.
But I think that's more than a lot of people would want to pay for Michael Wilson. Frankly.
Okay.
I could be wrong though. Again, what do I know? But yeah, he's and let's not Trey McBride is obviously just him. It's Yeah, when I traded him away a handful of times, it was maybe twice, but they just really sting different than the rest. Let's go ahead and give Shuck his proper run now, okay?
It was a bad week for Trey McBride, but you say bad week, he still had double-digit fantasy points in non-tight end.
He's in the top 8, right? Yeah. Something like that. He's basically a walking top 8, even if he stinks, and he's going to have overall upside like a receiver does. Tyler Shuck, Mike, now. Running all over the place. Oh, what do you? I don't know. I'll just let you talk, whatever that is going to be.
He's still not a very good quarterback. And you heard this thing about him being athletic in the draft process, and I don't know if I'd ever really seen it. Today we fucking saw it, man. That kid can move, man. He looked like a little Justin Herbert out there.
Can I say he kind of reminded me a little bit of like Dimes. It's like you don't see it, but then once he gets up to speed, you're like, oh, okay, the kid's actually kind of moving. So
yeah, I'm
not saying he's playing like Dimes was this year. I'm saying he'll sneak up on you, and all of a sudden when he's full head of steam, it's like, damn, he really is moving pretty well.
He can move, and he's got a big frame to him too. Big frame. That's a big-bodied quarterback running like he is. So
yeah,
I still think it's rough for him. He couldn't really figure out a good way to get Chris Olave involved in this game, but they didn't really need to. He was like, we're going to be able to run the ball with Devin Neal. I'm going to make throws when I have to. He didn't make any real bad mistakes.
Right.
He had one pick, but for the most part, he played a clean game. It just wasn't all on him. Just go make plays with your legs when you need to. And, wow, I did not see them upsetting the Buccaneers at fucking home today.
Well,
what the chuck?
I think we all are capable of forgetting these division games can get crazy. It's just what can happen. And today was a perfect example of that. I think, Mike, here's what I would say. One, I'm very disappointed that my Devin Neal is still halfway running. I should have maybe pushed this game back a little ways to finish Devin Neal. I got a hologram going for the kid. When Kamara's not playing, if he continues this, I mean, what do you think about Devin Neal? Are you firing him up pretty much easily, and what are you paying
I would
for him?
say you have to fire him up because they have nobody else, man. I saw Audric Estime in there. He still looks slow and fucking terrible. Like, still dog shit.
Yep.
Still fucking horrendous. So, Devin Neal's all they got. That's it, man. It isn't Evan Hull. Evan Hull got a carry, for fuck's sake. I didn't know he was still in the league.
Oh, yeah.
A couple weeks ago, my biggest concern with no Alvin Kamara and just Devin Neal was like, man, it feels like they're going to use Taysom Hill way too fucking much. And they're like, we don't need to because we got Taysom Hill at quarterback, essentially. We got Tyler Shuck back here. We're good.
Aside from that, it was pretty, I guess, ugly. I think Shuck only because of the rushing. I think you even throw for 150. I don't even know. Let's see. 150 yards, maybe something like that.
144, man. 144
Yikes.
was just more than Baker Mayfield.
Well, let's get to that part of it. I guess one takeaway was you like a little bit of an uptick for Godwin is maybe. I mean, and we're stretching here. Pause.
We are 8 targets, baby.
Dude,
it's coming back.
This was about as bad as you could expect, except for him and Bucky Irving right over there. It was yikes, man, yikes.
Even Bucky for most of the game was very disappointing.
It was, but I mean, I'll say what wasn't disappointing was getting the work, right? Him being able to take the workload and pause again. Geez, this is.
We were kind of right back to that 50% snap share split dog shit because there was a lot of Rachaad White on the field again, a lot, much to everyone's chagrin. Baker just played terrible, and they still haven't figured out how to get Emeka Egbuka back to early season Emeka Egbuka. Just fucking invisible, man. He dropped a touchdown pass too.
I know.
You could maybe a little better throw makes it a little easier, but still, that hit him in both his fucking hands, man.
He has definitely had a couple. 4 or 5, pretty damn, dude, you make that type of a catch if you're as good as you think Egbuka is. I'll say overall in general, drops aren't something that I worry about long term because some of the best receivers make drops, but I'm with you. He also, I don't know, it's kind of like Rome-esque, but his start was unbelievable and has just been very pedestrian at best on the finish here.
He started off like Puka or Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase.
He was on historic pace for sure.
His rookie year has morphed into Matthew Golden's.
All right, so the shot, you knew the shot was coming, but that's just insane. I think we can say RIP if this is the offense to the Cade Otton show, the Tez Johnson show. I mean, we can't. Right now, if Baker, to your point, doesn't play a lot better than what we just saw today, or if the offense isn't moving a lot better than it was today versus the Saints, man, you're having a hard time supporting Egbuka, let alone these other guys. So this offense has become really flaccid, man, in a bad way.
Very, very. Who knew that losing back-to-back coordinators for the last 2 years, and you get down to your third choice.
It was such a good start, too. It's like,
it was such a good start.
And Baker was doing his same thing where he's playing well again with all these injuries. You're like, geez, what the fuck?
And listen, Philly's offense, too. I've seen them start hot, under some real terrible offensive coordinators, too, and just like this year, fizzled the fuck out.
Yep. We talked with you about the snap share, and the snap share's been fine. Today was an RJ Harvey game. It was, I guess, good to see. If you've been waiting on Harvey, what was your take from the game today? Here, the Denver Raiders game. Obviously, this is one of those where you got it penciled in as you should go off against this fucking team.
Definitely should go off against this team. Now, he went off last week, which is good. So 4 weeks of RJ Harvey having this backfield to himself, we've had 50%. We've had 2 good weeks. We've also had 2 very disappointing weeks. Let's hope this continues, though.
The last 2 have been great, though, right?
Yep. So the last 3, we can clearly say that he's had all the work, right? He's gotten it all. So that's a good sign. Now,
and today wasn't very efficient, but, dude, 6 targets and caught them all. That'll really boost the whole PPR floor.
You'll take it, man. Denver offense slowly getting better. Now, the Raiders are the cure for a lot of bad offenses.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mike, we're only beating the Raiders. Again, it's a division game, but we're only beating them by a touchdown, and it's just I don't know. I'm having a hard time. Maybe I'll end up, I could have a very bad wrong take on this. I'm having a hard time buying into Denver as one of those just juggernauts, frankly, though.
Yeah. Yep. But they got the win. So
they did.
Right now, number 1 seed as it stands, the Denver Broncos. Who the fuck guessed that one? Holy hell.
Yeah, I guess for the Raiders, dude, Geno left with the injury, so we got to see Pickett, which honestly wasn't necessarily all that horrible.
No, it actually looked like an upgrade.
Yeah. Well, and weirdly, like Bowers had a touchdown, but not the greatest day. Jack Besh, of all people, has 50 yards, 6 catches, led them in passing. Receiving.
Dead.
What?
I thought he was dead.
I mean, so did everyone. I think, like, every time he made a catch, I'm like, wait, who is that? Oh, yeah, is that Jack
18.
Besh? Yeah, it's 18. Hadn't seen much. I mean, speaking of seeing much of the ground game, I mean, dude, it's just kind of crazy when you think about the fact that the Raiders really use that type of a pick, right?
Yeah.
When you have it's such a luxury pick at that point. When you have absolutely no ability to say you have a luxury team, it's just insane. I feel bad for Genty, honestly, a lot of weeks. You're like, dude, he's got no chance out here. Like their offensive line's horrible. This whole team's terrible.
I watched Geno throw him a fucking like a bubble route. Right out, swing route out of the backfield.
He was so open. He's trying to. He lost it in the air. It's like, where the fuck is this going? I saw that play too.
I feel bad for this guy. I think the Raiders need to spend every draft pick they have next year on offensive line. Just draft 8 of them. Call it good.
Yeah, it's they have some really nice skill players in Genty and Bowers, but it's almost like the Falcons of years past. Like, yeah, but can we really afford this? With the team we've got, right?
Well, think about how they're managed, right? So what they do, they trade for Geno Smith and pay him a contract, like a pretty decent contract. They draft Genty, a luxury pick, with their first-round pick, and they're just fucking awful, top to bottom. Like, they have nothing. It's Max Crosby is like the only thing on this fucking team you give a shit about right now.
Yeah. Let's talk about, listen, J.J. McCarthy has a good game, very good per standards of this year. The Commanders gave absolutely no fight on the other end. It was a bloodbath. He was efficient. Again, can I say what I will say? It was very good to see this, right? You see him kind of command the offense. But it's just like, man, you kind of are beating up on this team and you only get – I want to see him have some passing yardage. Like, I think he's capable, I'm hoping, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. So for J.J. McCarthy, you'd like to see the yardage increase. You'd like to see Justin Jefferson get more, but he was very efficient, didn't do anything terrible. The completion percentage was finally good. His QBR is going to look good. His metrics are going to look good from this game, and they throttled the shit out of the Commanders.
Yeah. They took their foot off the gas pretty early, and they didn't even.
Yeah, the only thing you fucking hate to see is Josh Oliver with 2 touchdowns. You're like, why? Why's it got to be Josh Oliver?
Josh Oliver doubled. Josh Oliver literally doubled what TJ Hockenson did. 24 yards versus 12 yards and 2 touchdowns versus 1.
On the other side of the ball, dude, their head coach needs fired immediately. You're 3-9. Why are you trotting your franchise quarterback?
Can we talk about this? I don't even have a hologram for him because I kind of was not anticipating he would play. Here's what I want to say. I don't think it's just his. There's no way he made an executive call on this. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't care if JD's lobbying the owner, right?
But I'm saying, but my point is, I don't think you can place the blame on the head coach solely if there's no way that the front office and the higher ups didn't okay this. You know what I mean?
I don't care if they okayed it. You overrule them. It's your fucking team. You're the head coach. It's my job on the line. I am not risking this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously.
You're the CEO of the
hindsight's
company.
20/20. I'm with you. I don't know why you do it, especially this late on. Football is one of those things where you're telling healthy people to stay on the side. Or I don't know if he's truly healthy, obviously, but
obviously not.
Well, he wasn't healthy at some point during the game when they brought Mariota back out. Dude,
exactly, Jason.
Let me ask you this.
He's on the RG3 path. They're on the same path of ruining this guy. Like, history is about to repeat itself.
We can't have nice things. You know this, Mike. You know this, right? I like this though. J.J. McCarthy can get no run because Washington just that was a disaster of a game. We quickly touch on that one, but we can move on. We got 2 more to get to. Actually 3, but here. You know what? Let's do the one. When I tell you there's certain blow-ups you never expect to ever make. Okay, here you go, Mike. Name that player.
That is Jalen Wright for the first time in fucking forever. in the history of his career.
Devon Achane leaves with a rib injury, and of course, Ollie Gordon gets a chance to step up and, cede the work to Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright goes bell cow. I think he finished at like RB6.
They didn't give Ollie Gordon the run right off the rip, which was weird because I thought as soon as Achane was out, Ollie would be a big part of the game. I don't know if it was a disciplinary thing or he's been playing bad or whatever, but he didn't get in until late in the game. Jalen Wright had already established himself. I think he was already over 100 yards before I even saw one Ollie Gordon carry.
Well, Ollie Gordon only ended up with 5 carries. Now, one of them was in the red zone. But and let me say, Mike, maybe it's that. I feel like we're going to come – we have a chance where it's not that at all. Jalen Wright stylistically is more like what they have with Achane, and it's, listen, Ollie Gordon, you're more of a plotter for us.
Could be, yeah. They didn't want to take him out of his role, so they just plugged Jalen Wright in.
But he even felt light for his role, but he only got 5 carries and 17. But let me just say this. Jalen Wright, right now, I think McDaniels came out and said that Achane could have went back in if need be. If what we just saw here, if he misses time, right, if Achane was to miss a week, I don't know if Jalen Wright got dropped in Dynasty. Obviously in redraft,
for sure.
You should be throwing the fucking farm at this.
I'm in some 35-man roster leagues where I have dropped Jalen Wright. So
Dude,
yes, he has been dropped in Dynasty.
This is a guy that you should be dropping the bag on because there's not much out there, frankly, in these Dynasty leagues where you have 25, 34. Dude, but Achane dealing with injury, he's great. He's phenomenal. But we have seen him deal with injuries in the past, and if you're telling me this guy's going to be the lottery ticket as far as this volume, how could you have expected it? He's never getting volume ever until today, right? It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, he did. You remember way back in his rookie year, Achane got hurt. Mostert was hurt.
Right.
Yep. Fire up all the Jalen Wright for like a Thursday night game.
Was it week 4, week 5 was pretty early in the year. I'm with you. I remember that.
Nothing.
I barely remember it because it was to be forgotten how bad it was.
No, I'm with you. Unless there's some other options. I mean, we're going to have some shitty quarterback options for best ball leagues and maybe your lineup leagues that you're going to throw fab on heading into the playoffs here. But, at this point in the season, fuck it. I did see, guys, it was a Sean Tucker-esque game. Sure. But I'm also willing to find out if it wasn't. If it was actually, hey, if Achane's out, why not?
This is what you should be expecting. Like, realistically, if Achane comes back and just he could take over that workload, you never see it. But tell me who has Sean Tucker upside that's on the waiver wire or is in this type of tier. It's worth shooting your shot for if Sean Tucker gives you 3 weeks. So that's kind of what I'm expecting from Jalen Wright is a lottery ticket that could give you nothing for the rest of the year. Yep. But it was crazy to see that type of work.
Dolphins didn't have to do a whole lot. Tua was not great. He did throw a touchdown pass to Jalen Waddle, but it was all Jalen Wright in the running game. The Jets were down to their third-string quarterback after Tyrod went out. Justin Fields already ruled out for the game. So, yay, Brady Cook, who was awful, fucking horrendous. And if he's bad, Breece Hall had no fucking shot. So, no John Mechie, no Adonai Mitchell this week. Who gives a fuck? It didn't.
Yeah,
they're all dead.
It was nice to get the touchdown for Jalen Waddle. It was a solid game, nothing crazy. But 5 for 50 and a touchdown, you'll be happy, especially given the game script here. All right, so let's get to the last two, which are a little bit better here. So, Mike, the Ravens Steelers 6-6, playing for the clear division lead. DK should have a blow up. I don't think I had it in time, but he had the first play offensively, the deep ball to him. He finally had a whale of a day. What'd you think of this Steelers game?
Yeah, I like how they kind of went back to, hey, we're going to throw the ball downfield a little bit. Like, we need to make people respect it. And we really only have one option to do it. So we paid the fucking guy. Let's throw it to him.
You let Pickens go, and you see what the hell he's doing this year. I mean, dear God. So it better be DK.
Yeah.
Jalen Warren was, I guess the rest of the team is what it is. But
they were all bad.
They won. It was rough as far as carrying the ball. I mean, I don't think anyone had 20 yards on the ground.
No, your high is 15 from Kenneth Gainwell.
That's pretty good. But he did score a touchdown. Let me put Jalen Warren up because all I have for Gainwell is the blow-up hologram, so we won't do that. It was the opposite of that. Caleb got a couple carries. Dude, it was nothing on the ground. It was DK show through the air. They won this game. It was it was a good. It's one of these Mike Tomlin just game plans. Honestly, just being real. Like they did what they needed to do to win the game and command it, kind of. But Lamar on the other side, I think, was a good story. I think he still doesn't look right on that touchdown. You kind of see him really gimpy, but it was an improvement for sure from his lackluster performances before today.
He actually attempted to run this game, which is
that's
nice,
what kind of scared me. Was
multiple.
like, dude, he got, what was it, a 6-yard rushing touchdown? You're like, oh my god, he looked like he almost hurt himself going into the end zone. So obviously he's dealing with something here, but
he's gonna have to do this. He's gonna have to fucking grit through it if they have any chance of making the playoff. Right now they're sitting at 6 and 7, so time to go.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, I sat Lamar in some leagues. I had to, kind of grit my teeth and play him. So you're happy to see this, but he's definitely not 100% Lamar. So I do think you have some decisions to make in the rest of the year if you have really good quarterbacks. So
what was crazy to me, they got Zay Flowers going again. We haven't
did.
seen that in fucking forever. Pretty much since the start of the season, they got him going again. They just came out and announced the contract extension for Mark Andrews and then made it an Isaiah Likely game immediately following. So thank you, Ravens.
We now have a
for
lot
fuckery.
of clarity on the situation.
Thank you for the fuckery.
Mark Andrews did have the one catch. It was a nice little catch on the sideline too, toe drag, everything. But it was.
Yeah.
Also, it wasn't a bad game, right? King Henry got a lot of work, but I don't know. I was looking at this matchup thinking this could be big time.
I think the Ravens got fucked twice. There was 2 horrible calls that are going to be replayed all week on talk shows across the board. The Aaron Rodgers self pass, like that, you can't rule that a fucking reception, man. Like
what are we doing here? That one was crazy. I forgot about that. That one was crazy.
And then on the same account, they ruled that a self catch. Aaron Rodgers caught the ball because he was immediately down by then. Then the Ravens come down and to take the lead, throw what should have been the game-winning touchdown pass to Isaiah Likely, but then they called continuation. Like, you got to complete the process of the catch. It looked like the motherfucker took like 4 steps before the ball gets knocked out, and they ruled that incomplete. And I go, well, you didn't call the Aaron Rodgers an interception. Like, that was faster, in my opinion. So, yeah, I listen, I'm not a Ravens stan by any stretch of the imagination, but I think they got fucking hosed in this game, big time.
Yeah, it was definitely a rough one, and you hate to see it if you're a Ratbirds fan. I will say it's this matchup for me is never. It's hard to care because I know one of them is going to win. I'd love for them to tie. That would have been my best and most desirable outcome. Mike, I think the one thing I will say, Danny Dimes certainly hurts. I think we got out pretty okay outside of that injury.
We didn't touch on too, man. Hell of a career for Zach Ertz. Been written off dead many times. I hate to say it though, this is probably the last one. This is probably the last time we see Zach Ertz in any relevance. That was a brutal, and I fucking hate those hits so much, man. And it happens to these tight ends all the time. These fucking DBs, these cheap shotting little fucks going low for these tight ends' knees. But he flamingoed the shit. That was a Willis McGahee flamingo knee. Not a good sign.
Well, and at this late in your career, right? The recovery process on that's probably really tough. Listen, I would love to be wrong and see Zach Ertz come back and actually be a nice little A-Warp tight end again, but it doesn't feel great. Definitely hurts. I have Mike, Eric, and I actually in the grind. We felt like we finally plugged a little gap in the tight end position, and it sucks. So.
Oh, the only thing we didn't touch on, Packers-Bears game.
Oh, I knew there was one. Okay, good call.
Gotcha.
Let's get through that.
Last one.
Let's get to it. Dude, Ben Johnson, man. This team, they end up making it a game. But, dude, they started so slow. You're like, how? This is such a massive game for them.
Took them a bit to get up and rolling. It felt like Caleb really needed to settle in. But they went back to their game plan that's been working the last couple of weeks. Have Caleb make some plays, but we're going to rely on the run game, and we're just going to keep after it. We're going to split it between these two guys.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Now, it sucks because you can't really just fully rely on one of these guys like we like to get all the work. But, listen, I think they're both flex options every single week for you moving forward.
This is kind of what I expected the Jaguars to do, honestly, with Tootin. We never saw it, obviously.
Or the Giants to do it with Scatterbo and Tracy.
Sure. But, I mean, I think right now it's kind of they're flex options. If you have them and, you're not like a star-studded team, they're probably very easily flex options for you. And based on their work, dude, if you tell me how many guys are getting 14, 13 carries, right, on a weekly basis? They're in the conversation.
For the Bears too, I had some questions. Luther Burden or DJ Moore. A lot on start sit this morning.
Dude, DJ Moore. I was a little worried. I was like, all right, but Rome out. We got it. This was about as bad.
Thanks
as it
for
gets.
fucking nothing, DJ Moore.
His only catch. Okay, I don't know if you guys watched the game. His only catch was literally a flip play that was essentially a handoff.
Yeah.
And it went for -4. But if you didn't see it, his only catch on the day was essentially a run play. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
He had 3 targets, right? So one was that flip play. The other one, he got absolutely fucking rocked. They tried to throw him a bubble screen or a quick screen, smoke screen on the outside. Keyshawn Nixon said, nope. Nope, fucking rocked him. I don't know what the other target was, but obviously it did get converted.
I didn't even see it, honestly, the other one.
I did say I didn't have the stones to flat out say that I would start Luther Burden over DJ Moore, but I said, listen, I'm a little bit worried. Like, I think I'll go DJ Moore for the upside, but I'll go Luther Burden for the floor because Luther Burden is getting heavily involved here in these last couple of weeks in the passing offense.
Yeah, I think to me, right, a few things. They had such a great turnaround, no question. I think Ben Johnson, this offense, a lot of it's Caleb too. They've got to figure out the passing game, frankly. It is
more consistent.
It's holding them back from their, I think, big-time potential, realistically. Because and we can see that DJ Moore is not really in their plans, dude. I think it's a Rome 1, Luther Burden 2. And I think for the offense to get where we want it to go, they're probably going to need to bring in a running back, right, at some point, and then have this offense be a little bit more balanced, frankly, in the future.
Yes.
So I think there's some hope for the future, but right now, man, it's like for Caleb and for these pass catching weapons, it's kind of grit your teeth if you have to put them in there.
To John's point, though, such a quick turnaround from how the Bears have been the last couple of years and what they're doing now in the Ben Johnson. I mean, they're in a big time fucking game. They were in first place.
Don't let me
number 1 seed.
I don't want to take anything away from what Ben Johnson's been doing, by the way.
No,
right, at all.
But I'm just saying this to say that they have some things still to work on, right? Obviously, DJ Moore doesn't feel like he's in their future plans at all. I would fully expect them to move on from him this offseason, via trade or, outright release even wouldn't be crazy if they can't get a deal done. But I'll say this about the Bears. The expectations are going to be a lot higher next year, especially with how surprising they are this year. So now they got that Detroit Lions kind of feel to them where it's like, you guys really exceeded expectations. Now we're fucking expecting it.
They got to trade more. He's got $40+ million in dead cap.
But all the concerns I have about the Bears and their offense and the passing game specifically is really lining up for me to buy the shit out of next year. Colston Loveland, Roman Dunze, and Caleb Williams. Just because we get a whole nother year. Like, they were so good in a year I didn't expect them to gel as much as they have and look as good as they did as a team. I would say next year, fucking sky's almost the limit for what the Bears can do on offense, which is fucking crazy to say, man, because I've been playing fantasy a long time and I haven't been like, I got to get me some Bears.
No, I mean,
maybe
it's my Rome love. Maybe it's just kind of going over the roster and where they kind of have been stashed with just flush. I thought they'd be even a little bit better offensively from the passing aspect, but definitely I think the future is even brighter. Mike, here's I think the biggest thing to me. If you're this team, you already saw them really try to address it in a big way. They Joe Dalman, right? They brought in, they spent money and they traded for assets at the line. I think this team is, if I'm Poles and these guys, dude, there's no chance that I'm not doing whatever it takes. I'm on the horn trying to get some serious offensive line help in here. You do that, and I think this thing could go crazy.
I think they're probably like one real solid tackle away, and they're probably one really good 3-down running back away, explosive running back away. And then you get another year with Caleb being comfortable in Ben Johnson, and Ben Johnson being comfortable with what Caleb was good at. You get another year of gelling with Colston Loveland and Roman Dunze, and Luther Burden coming on now as this really good intermediate slot, kind of move weapon.
Yeah.
You can have a pretty fucking scary Bears offense here soon.
And you could definitely go back in the draft and be like, man, what are they doing? But they really, I think, are now in a great position, being so just stuck to their board as far as best player available. And fuck it, we'll roll out Monangai and Swift and still run the ball as we need to, So
yep. On the other side, Jordan Love. Jordan Love played well. Josh Jacobs was his
He had
normal
that
Josh
pick early,
Jacobs
and you're
stuff.
like, oh man, but they had a really good game.
How about Christian Watson, baby? Like we don't listen. It's the ultimate
Someone actually
Jameson
started him in a
Williams of
massive
Green
game
Bay.
versus me, and of course he has a great game. You know,
Fuck yeah, man! I fired up some Christian
Bo,
Watson.
dude. Well, Christian Watson did some things, but Bo Melton's back. I mean, you want to talk? Listen, whoever you were besmirching the name of, okay, Matthew Gold. You finally invest in a first-round receiver, and Bo Melton's a thing again. Get out of here! What is the situation for Green Bay, man?
Bo Melton also had a fantastic offensive pass interference too. Tom Brady shouted that one out on the broadcast. Like that shit was getting picked off for sure. Bo Melton's like, "Fuck this, I'm just gonna tackle the DB."
Not on my watch. I mean, well, honestly, it was the right play. You know, I mean,
great play.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Kind of crazy.
There you go, bud. Week
well,
14 in the books.
What did you think of the Packers though? I mean, Jacobs was he pedestrian? I actually don't even didn't
he was
get the
okay.
final line.
Yeah, he was okay. He went for 80 and a touchdown. So
I'll say at least for him, it's like coming off that injury. I was kind of worried if he would be. He's getting the touches. He looks maybe not quite 100%, but he's close. You know.
Yeah, he only got that touchdown too because Emmanuel Wilson can't keep his feet. Right, Jacobs gets him down there. They put Emmanuel Wilson in. He goes and runs a sweep around the side and just slips and falls on his ass. So then we got to bring Josh Jacobs back in. All right, Josh, you do it.
Yeah, honestly, and Jordan Love, it's just like it feels not like there's much upside really at the quarterback position for fantasy. I think he's doing what he's asked to do in real life, but it's like, man, we needed 3 touchdowns to make this dude have a good week this week. It's only over 234. You know, it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Not the greatest upside play, but, you know, definitely gets the
throw
job
it
done
more to Christian Watson. How about that?
Don't. Although he 2 touchdowns, 89 yards, 4 catches. It was a good game for him. And RIP'd my bye in one of my leagues. So, yeah, that was it, buddy. This is it. For those that want to know, whether you're ready or not, here we come. We got the playoffs, man. Playoffs.
We got a good.
The years fly every year, dude. The years fly every year. It's nuts.
Chiefs Texans with just about everything on the line for the Kansas City Chiefs at this point, so could be a tough one.
Yeah, it could be. Well, let's let you get to that, and we'll be back for AMA Wednesday. We'll be back here again for the playoffs version of the recap, and same time, same place as always. Despite all the craziness, we're back, man. We're out of here. Peace.